very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of the Manage Engine team, I welcome you to today's free Op Manager training series. Before we could start, please confirm by commenting in the chat channel if you're able to hear me properly and see the presentation. We'll start the presentation once we get few confirmations. Okay, we have started receiving confirmation that the audio and the presentation is clear. Let me introduce myself. I'm R. Surendran, one of the product expert from the Manage Engine team who takes care of support, product training, and implementation for Op Manager. So now let's see the schedule for the Op Manager Season 3 training series. Today, on June 23rd, we'll be looking into discovery and classification. Followed by, on June 30th, we'll be looking into monitoring server performance. And on July 7th, we'll be looking into the monitoring network performance and maps. And finally, on July 14th, we'll be looking into fault management and IT automation. For the better convenience of larger audience, we have two schedules for the Op Manager training series, which are the first one would be conducted at 6 a.m. GMT, which is now, and the second one would be conducted at 11 a.m. EST. To get more information about the training series schedule and download the recorded version of the webinar, you could visit the below link, which is at the bottom of the slide. We have a team of panelists here who are here to answer your questions. So if you have any questions during the course of the presentation, you could very well raise them in the chat channel and our team of panelists will be answering them. And also we'll be having a Q&A session at the end of the presentation to share the interesting questions which we have received for the larger audience. Now let's start the part 1 of the Op Manager training series, which is on discovery and classification. So let's start the webinar with the agenda for the day. First, we'll be seeing the prerequisites for installing the Op Manager. Then we'll be seeing the device discovery and its methodologies. Then we'll be looking into the virtualization and storage discovery options which are available in the product. And then we'll be looking into the important steps to simplify the discovery process. And we'll also see how to create groups for various types based on sites and user desirement inside the Op Manager for better understanding of your network. And finally, we'll be looking into the tips and tricks to better the discovery process and have a good network monitoring too. Now let's take an example and see how Op Manager would be able to help the customer in achieving their requirements. So here we are discussing an example of a banking network. Here, every banking network would be connected to the internet for multiple sites, and internally they'll be having routers, firewalls, and switches which are connected to the end devices such as workstations, laptops, printers, and desktops. Here, when it comes to a banking network, they want to discover the critical devices and configure a set of monitors such as service, process monitors, performance monitors, and at the same time, they wish to ignore the workstations while discovering their entire network. Now let's see in the course of webinar on how we'll be able to achieve this requirement when it comes to a banking network. So now we are getting ready to install the product, and the first thing which you have to meet is the prerequisites. For installing the Op Manager, you would be requiring a physical or a virtual server with 4 GB of RAM, a quad-core processor, along with 20 GB of hard disk space. And Op Manager can be installed using PG-SQL, which comes in bundled together with the product, and also we support MS SQL as our database. And Op Manager can be installed on a Windows server or a Linux server. The only limitation which you see when you install the Op Manager on a Linux environment is that you'll not be able to use the WMI protocol to monitor the Windows devices, whereas you'll be able to use the SNMP credentials to monitor the Windows details. To get more information on the prerequisites on installing the product and monitoring your environment, you could visit the link which is at the bottom of the slide to get more information. Now we have installed the product and we have met the prerequisites. The next important thing which you have to get ready is you have to collect the list of devices and its credentials which are required to monitor the device. And also you have to create your own credential library. As Op Manager being an agentless monitoring tool, we'll be using these credentials or protocols to contact the device and collect the required information and show it in the product. So as you can see here on my slide, I have given a small example tabulation where I've given the count and the type of devices which I'm going to discover inside the product using the respective credential. Now let's quickly switch to the application directly and see how we'll be able to create the credential. So when you log in to the Op Manager, the first screen, what you see is the dashboard. So the dashboard is the place where you'll be able to see all the collected information in an pictorial format. So to add credentials, all you have to do is you have to click on settings. Under discovery, you have to click on credentials, and once you're inside the credential page, you have to click on add credentials. So under add credential, as you could see, Op Manager supports various protocols to monitor the devices such as SNMP, WMI protocol, Telnet or SSH, VMware credentials, and other supported protocols for various types of devices. Now let's take an example and create a credential and see how it works inside the application. And the first step here is to choose the type of protocol. Here I'm going to choose SNMP. Then I'm going to give a name, which is going to be my Windows Server branch 1. And then I have to enter my community string or the password for the SNMP. After entering the credentials, you have to save them. So once you have saved it, you'll be able to see the list of credentials in the credential library, which can be used later on for the discovery process and monitoring the devices. And in the credential page, you have the option to associate the credential and also test the credentials on bulk. So now let's quickly switch to the presentation again and move to the next slide. So the next thing after creating the credential library is called as user management. So the user management allows you to create your own accounts for administrators and operators in your organization, and also synchronize your Active Directory so that your AD users will be able to log in to the Op Manager and see the devices and get the required information. And you have the flexibility to give restriction to device access for specific users on the modules or business use or groups. So now let's see in the Op Manager on how the user management works and how we could create a brand new users. To do this, you have to go to settings, general settings, and then click on user management. So in user management, to create any new user, you have to click on add user, and then while creating the add user, you have to choose the privilege first, which is going to be an administrator or an operator. Administrator has full access to the entire application, and the operator is just read only. So let's choose an administrative privilege, then give a username. So I'm going to give it as Paul and enter a password. So let me type my password here. So that is done. So later on, you have to enter an email address, which would be useful for us in case if you want to reset the password for this particular user. So the next page, what you see is the flexibility to restrict the user to have access to specific devices or a group of devices. You can either choose based on business view or give the user access to all the devices which are inside the application. So right now I'm going to give Paul, the administrator, an access to all the devices with an admin privilege. So once you have created the user, you'll be able to see a summary page of the users which are already there with the required information. And also, this is the place where you could add your own Active Directory and allow the users to log in to the Op Manager and get the information. And also, the Op Manager allows you to set your own password policies with the required matrices which could meet your requirement based on the security and environmental constraints. So now let's quickly switch to the presentation and continue. So now we'll be looking into the discovery methodologies which are available inside the Op Manager. So there are two methodologies which are available inside the application, which are automatic discovery. So the automatic discovery is going to happen during the installation of the Op Manager itself, and it's going to scan the subnet of the connected network to the Op Manager installed server and also contact the Active Directory, and it will be discovering the devices using the nmap method, and it will add all the network devices which are matching the nmap condition inside the application. And the second methodology is nothing but a manual discovery, where we'll be using a CSV file import or an IP range or a CIDR method to import the devices manually inside the Op Manager and monitor them. So now let's go inside the features which are available inside the Op Manager, and also discuss the best features and how the Op Manager is better compared to all the other network monitoring tools which are available when it comes to the discovery process. The first thing is about we have discovery profiles and separate reports for each discovery which we are doing. We also have discovery filters, discovery rule engine, interface based discoveries. We also have the flexibility and the option to update the properties for existing devices. So now let's start with the first topic, which is called as discovery profiles, and see how we'll be able to add the devices inside the Op Manager. Here we have a wide range of discovery options where we can use an IP range discovery, or we could use a multiple IP range as well during the discovery. So now let's quickly switch to the application and see how the discovery is going to work. And also, as we have discussed in the starting of the presentation, a live example for a banking network where they wanted to eliminate the workstations for a non-critical devices in their environment to avoid license level restrictions. For this requirement, we'll be using the add discovery filter option, which we'll be discussing in detail in the upcoming phase. So now we are switching to the application to see more on how the discovery works inside the product. So to do a discovery or add a device to the Op Manager, you have to go to settings, discovery, and under discovery, you have multiple options to add the device to the Op Manager. So the first option is adding the devices individually by entering them one by one. So that's the first method. And the second method is using the IP range followed by the CIDR method. And also we have the CSV file import method where you'll be able to create your own CSV file with the required format and import the devices. Let me quickly show you an example CSV file which we could use for the CSV file import during the discovery process. So here we have three columns starting with the device name, the display name, and the device type. So with this, we'll be able to import and discover the devices inside the application. So now let's quickly switch to the Op Manager and see how we'll be able to do a short discovery. So here I'm going to do an IP range discovery. Let me enter my IP address here, ending with 250. So once I've entered my IP range, you could see over here, and also you could have multiple IP ranges entered so that you could use them for the discovery process. So let me enter another IP range as well. So once you've entered the IP range, you could have the discovery filter option to add or ignore devices for a specific condition. So here, as we are taking an example to ignore non-critical devices or workstations, I'm going to choose the discovery action as ignore. Then I'm going to choose the device type equals to desktop, which is a non-critical device when it comes to a banking network or most cases. So once you have entered the details, you have to click on add, and then you could, at the bottom, you could see the discovery filter option and what it's going to do during this particular network scan. The next phase of the discovery is the selection of credentials for the discovery process. So when you're doing a network level discovery, you have to select all the respective credentials which would be helpful for us to and add and monitor the devices. So when you're having a large number of devices, it's always best to choose multiple credentials which would be helpful for us during the discovery process. So now let's quickly switch to the presentation and continue with the next part. So here, Op Manager has one of an interesting feature which is called as a discovery rule engine. So to give a brief description about the discovery rule engine is that this is going to automate multiple tasks during the discovery itself. See, for example, uh, you want to discover whenever you go in for a network discovery or a discovery process, and if the device is going to be a Windows 2012 R2 starting with an IP address 192.168.1, then you want to add this particular URL to that devices. So as we are taking an example of a banking network, this URL is a vital one for them where they're going to use it every day to log into their banking site and do their job. So this is a vital URL which they're going to use. And the second task which they want to do whenever the condition matches is that they want to associate a notification profile whenever a device goes down and send it as an email to the administrator who's called as Paul. And the third task is to associate these servers to a business view named as branch one servers. And finally, they want to associate Windows event log service to these devices. So as you can see, there are multiple tasks which the customer wants to do at the same time during the discovery itself. So by using the discovery rule engine, we'll be able to achieve it. So in case without this feature, if you're going to proceed, you have to add these monitors and do the configuration post the discovery one by one for all the devices. So using the discovery rule engine, it's going to make the discovery process much better and efficient for you to have a quick configured setup to monitor your environment. So now let's quickly switch to the application and see how the discovery rule engine can be created and used. So in the discovery process, the third phase is called as the discovery rule engine place, where you could select or create the respective rule. So let's create a rule for here. So this is going to be for my bank branch one, and I'm going to select the criteria which we have already discussed. The type has to be Windows 2012 R2. Then my second condition has to be the starting IP address, starting with 192.168.1. So whenever during the discovery, if these two conditions are matching, the op manager has to perform the below tasks, which are the first one. What the customer wanted to do is to associate an URL monitor. So under actions, I'm selecting the specific URL. The second task was to associate this device to a specific business view, which I'm choosing as branch one servers. And the third task was to associate this device type to an notification profile and send an email to the administrator who's called as Paul. And the final task which the customer wanted to do was to add an event log rule whenever the condition matches. So once you have selected the conditions and the actions, you have to click on save. So once you have done this, the discovery rule engine would be ready for the discovery process, and it's going to do all these tasks during the discovery itself, and it's going to help you make the discovery process much more easier. So now let's quickly switch to the presentation again. So now we'll be looking into the discovery process for the interfaces. So in Op Manager, we'll be using the SNMP credential to discover and monitor the interfaces which are inside your environment. So here we'll be able to enable and disable the discovery of the interfaces, and also we could select the admin or operational status of the interfaces and do the discovery. And also we'll be able to select the type of interfaces which we want to add during the discovery process. So now let's quickly switch to the application and see how we'll be able to use the interface discovery for our convenience. So for this, you have to first enable the interface discovery and then choose the respective admin or operational status for which you want to add the interfaces. And finally, you can choose the type of interface which you want to monitor and add to the devices which you are going to monitor inside the application. So here I'm going to choose Ethernet and IEEE 802.3. So these are the conditions which I'm going to use for the interface discovery inside the application. So by using these flexible options, we'll be able to add only the desired interface to the application and monitor them and get the respective alerts accordingly. So now let's quickly switch to the presentation again and move to the next part. So the next part which we are going to see is the discovery schedule and the discovery reports which are available. So here we could schedule the discovery profiles for an updated inventory, and also we could get the device details or the discovery details on when, what, and who has added the devices. And finally, we'll be able to see the inventory and the audit report on how the discovery has happened and how this can be used for future references for your audit in your environment. So now let's see how we'll be able to see the discovery report inside the application. So the last phase of the discovery profile creation is the schedule part, where here I'm going to schedule this discovery to run every Sunday at 1 a.m. Every morning, so that it's going to scan that particular subnets and add the devices accordingly. So I've selected my schedule, and then you also have the option to send this particular discovery result as a report to any specific email address. So let me give an email address. I'm going to send it uh, to my administrator, who's Paul. So this is his email address, and then you could give the subject as well. It's going to be discovery status, and then you have to click on next, and finally you have to save it. So once you have saved it, this profile is going to run regularly in this particular time interval and add the devices in the subnet. So as you can see in the discovery report, we'll be able to see the list of profiles which was already created and the status of the devices which were added and deleted during this particular discovery process. And also we have the flexibility to see when the schedules has been done and what's the actual status of these schedules and when the next schedule is going to happen. And also you'll be able to delete the scheduled discovery process and proceed accordingly. So now let's quickly go back to the presentation and continue. So the next feature which we are going to see is the update properties of the devices. So in our live environments, we will be changing multiple tasks or multiple criteria for the devices, such as I'll be changing my IP address or RAM or hard disk. And also by using the op manager, you will be able to update these changes for the servers or any end device such as IP address, RAM or hard disk, and etc. and also you can update the changes which are happening inside the interface properties as well, such as the if name or the if speed and etc. So let me quickly show you how this can be achieved using the application. So for this, you have to go to the discovery and then select the existing device tab under the discovery inputs and choose the respective group. You have the flexibility to choose between groups, business use, categories or devices. So here I'm going to choose my group, which I've already created for Windows servers, and then choose the respective credentials and choose the rule engine if needed. And finally, click on execute now, or you can even schedule. So by doing this, you are rediscovering the devices, which is going to automatically update the device details, such as change in IP address or RAM or hard disk or interface properties automatically, so that you will have a real-time data for your live environment. So now let's go back to the presentation and continue. So the next phase which we are going to see is with the virtual and storage discovery. So when we are talking about a virtual discovery, we have a dedicated discovery process for the virtual network, which supports VMware, Hyper-V, Xen servers, and Nutanix infrastructures. The discovery of the vCenter would automatically add the host and the VMs which are inside the vCenter, and then we do support both vCenter and host-based discoveries. So when we talk about storage-based discoveries and monitoring inside the application, we can monitor the RAID tape library and FC switches for various vendors such as HP, Huawei, and Dell. And for this particular storage monitoring, we can use SNMP, CLI, SMI, and API credentials to add and monitor the storage devices. So now let's quickly see on how the virtual discovery is going to work. So for this, you have to go to discovery and click on virtualization discovery, and finally you'll be able to see the flexible options which are available here, where you can add them based on vCenter, Hyper-V, or Xen server. All you have to do is enter the IP address of the vCenter, choose the respective credential, and then click on discover. That's it, as simple as that. So once you discover a virtual device or a vCenter, this is how the page is going to look. The vCenter along with the number of hosts, the virtual machines, and the data stores which are available inside this particular vCenter in a detailed stats, and they'll be monitored automatically. So this is how the virtual discovery is going to work. And the next thing what you could see under the discovery process is for the storage discovery, where you have to click on add storage devices and choose the type of device which you want to add, whether if it's a RAID, tape library, or FC switch. Choose the respective model and enter the IP address and choose the credential, and automatically you can click on OK and start the discovery. So this is how you could add and monitor virtual or storage devices inside the Op Manager. So now we are going to continue with the next part of the webinar, which is one of the new and an interesting discovery method where we can monitor the Nutanix devices. So here we can discover only the clusters, and all the entities such as host, VMs, storage will be automatically discovered when you add a Nutanix device. Then you can configure the infrastructure diagram for it. We have dedicated reports with summary, inventory, and latency, and etc. for the Nutanix-based discovery and monitoring. And for monitoring the Nutanix devices, we'll be using the Prism API framework to fetch the performance matrices and add them and monitor it. So let me quickly take you to the Op Manager and show you how the Nutanix discovery can be achieved. So for that, you have to go to settings, discovery, and click on Nutanix discovery, then enter the IP address or the DNS of the Nutanix device, enter a credential, and click on discovery. As simple as that. So once you have done that, you'll be able to see this information as similar to the vCenter, where you'll be able to see all the entities which are inside the Nutanix cluster. So this is how you could add Nutanix device to the Op Manager and monitor them to meet your requirements. The next feature which we are going to see is about the layer 2 discovery. So the layer 2 discovery here we'll be discovering the entire network through a core or a seed router. So by using the core router, we'll be able to draw the entire network diagram with all the endpoints which are connected to this particular core router based on the information which we are getting from that. And also we could set device dependencies automatically. So the parent child combination for your entire network is going to get updated inside the op manager automatically by using this option. And also we could configure schedule intervals to update the devices in your network. And you also have the flexibility to export this layer 2 discovered map in an Visio format. To see more details on how to export the layer 2 map as a Visio, you could visit the link which is at the bottom of the presentation. So let me show you on how the layer 2 discovery can be achieved. For this, you have to go to layer 2 discovery and then click on create me. Over here, you have to enter a name for the layer 2 discovery. Let's say I'm going to give it as branch 2 servers. Then I have to enter my core router's IP address, which is going to be 192.167.20.125. So this is my core router's IP address, and then you have to enter an IP address range in which the scan has to happen. So let me enter that as well. Just give me a few minutes here. So you have done that. So this is my IP range in which the core router is going to draw my layer 2 diagram. And as you can see, towards your right, you have the flexibility to schedule the intervals in which the scan is automatically going to happen and update the details. You could give them from ranging from 1 day to 10 days. And also you could set the device dependencies for the discovered layer 2. Let me show you on how the layer 2 discovery is going to look when the discovery is completed. So as you can see on the screen right now, you could see this is my core router here, and after discovering it, automatically all the end devices which are added to my core router is visible here. And we have the flexibility to expand and minimize the layer 2 map and see more information on how this particular diagram is going to look. And also you have the same flexibility when you're talking about virtual devices as well. So when you talk about virtual devices, you also have a similar feature where you'll be able to see a diagram of your virtual environment in a pictorial format as well. So this option is available for both uh, Nutanix, Hyper-V, Zen servers, and also your layer 2 map. By using this particular layer 2 discovery and map, you'll be able to have a clear picture about your environment with all the required information. So this is how the layer 2 discovery works. So the next thing which we'll be seeing is about the inventory. So the inventory is the page or the place inside the op manager where you'll be able to see the list of devices in a tabular format for all the devices or the nodes which you're monitoring by using the op manager. So here, let me show you how the inventory looks. So for this, you have to click on inventory, which is on the application. And in the inventory, as you can see, you will have the list of devices with multiple columns with the required details such as device name, status, IP address, and etc. And also you have the same flexibility to choose between interfaces or subnets or business views or groups which you have already created and monitoring inside the op manager. So under inventory, you have a special filter option where you could choose and filter the devices based on the category or type or vendor as well. And also you could choose based on the severities of the alarms or the status of each device. So by using the inventory, you'll be able to have a list and a detailed report on how the monitoring is happening and what's the actual status of my environment, which I have already discovered inside the op manager, and I'm monitoring it. So now let me quickly switch to the presentation and move on to the next slide. So here, grouping. So grouping is nothing but where you can group the devices based on types, categories or based on the sites as well. So here inside Op Manager, we have this option which allows you to create groups for devices or interfaces based on sites or departments or etc. You can push configuration to a group like setting the device downtimes, setting thresholds for interfaces, or fetching group-based reports as well. And also you could set thresholds based on custom groups as well. So let me show you on how to create a group inside the Op Manager. And for this, you have to go to Settings, Configuration, Groups. And once you're inside this particular tab, you have to click on Add. So here, let me give a name here. This is going to be for my branch 2 servers. Done. Then I have to select the conditions. So device by criteria. So the criteria is going to be by type equals Windows 2012 R2. And my second condition has to be the IP address in which it's going to start. So start with 192.168.1. So this is my second condition. So I have the flexibility to choose based on criterias, or I could group them manually. Once that is done, you could automatically select the device status and click on OK. So once that is done, you'll be able to see a report for this particular group which you have already created with all the device details and information. As you can see, we have the graph options. You could edit this particular group, the criterias and everything, and you can proceed accordingly. So this is how you can use create the groups inside the Op Manager and use them for your own convenience. And by grouping these devices, you will have other advantages in monitoring and taking the reports inside the application, where you can push configuration based on groups. You can set notification profiles for this particular group. You could push, let's say, monitors. You could have user-based configurations for each group, and you could have dashboards created based on groups. You have multiple options when you create a group, and you can use them to associate this to a specific group. As we are seeing an example of a banking network, each banking customer would be having multiple sites, where each site is going to be managed by different people. So what they could do is they could create individual groups for each site and then assign it to the respective users, so that they'll be able to handle that particular devices in that group and have their own desired configuration for that specific group and set of devices. So now let's go back to the presentation again. So now we'll be discussing the tips and tricks which are going to help you to better the discovery process and use the Op Manager in a better way. So here, the first thing which you always should have in mind, that you have to check the status of the credential associated with the device often, to make sure that the data collection never stops. As Op Manager being an agentless monitoring tool, as we have already discussed, we'll be using the credentials or the protocols to collect the data and monitor them. So over here, if the credentials are not going to work, the Op Manager will not be able to collect the data and monitor the devices. So this you have to always keep in check. And also in the device snapshot page, you'll be able to see an alarm in case if the credentials are failing for a respective device. And also you have an option to run a bulk test credential for all the devices to see the credential status of each device, and you can export that as a report too. Now let's go on to the next part, where we are going to discuss the next tip here. So how do I fix devices getting discovered as unknown? So there are a few possible reasons on why this could happen. Your firewall could be blocking the ports or the recommended ports which the application is using to monitor it. So all you have to do is you have to open the recommended ports in your firewall, so that the Op Manager can contact the end device and collect the required information. And for more details on the port requirements and the prerequisites, you can visit the link which I have given in my first tab for the tip. And the second reason on why this could happen is that the credentials might not be working. So here you could associate a brand new credential to the device, or you could run a test credential profile. Let me show you on how the test credential profile can be executed inside the Op Manager. For this, you have to go to Discovery, Test Credential, and then you could create a profile for it. So for this, you could do create a profile based on types, or you could do it for all devices. Here I'm going to do it for all my devices. Then click on next, and you could always execute it immediately, or you could schedule them so that this is going to run regularly, and it's going to send a report to you giving the status of each credential associated to the devices. And the next possible reason on why this could happen is one of the rare cases where the device template would not be available. Op Manager has 5,000 plus device templates for various vendors inside the Op Manager, which we are updating every day. So this case would be a rare one. But in case if you're adding a brand new device type from a vendor which has arrived to the market just now, you have the flexibility to create device templates for that particular device using the respective protocols and then monitor them. So these are the possible reasons on why a device is going to get categorized as an unknown device. So the next thing which we are going to see is about the next schedule for the training series. So we'll be having our part 2 of the Op Manager training series for season 3 on 30th June, and here we'll be discussing on monitoring server performance. So in this webinar, we'll be discussing the below topics: device availability, server and virtual servers performance, custom WMI monitors, and also the script based monitoring too. So now we'll be moving into the Q&A session. So let's see and share the interesting questions which we have received in the course of the webinar, so that we could discuss it for the larger audience convenience. So the first question which we are going to see here is: I'm an evaluator and I need help in choosing the right edition. So Op Manager has 3 basic editions inside the product, starting with standard, which is a limited edition with the network monitoring, where you'll not have virtual based monitoring and AD synchronization for user management. And the second edition is called as the professional edition, where you have all the features for the Op Manager and monitor them accordingly. And the third edition is called as the enterprise, which is also called as a distributed setup, where you'll have multiple sites monitoring your end devices, and you'll have a cumulative central server where the data would be seen and you could monitor them. To know more details on how the editions are there and the features which are available, you could visit the link which is at the bottom of the slide. So the next question which we are going to see is here: after adding devices, will there be an impact if I remove the discovery profile? No, there will be no impact if you delete the discovery profile after adding a device to the Op Manager. So moving on to the third questions: how many devices will be discovered via an auto discovery? So the auto discovery is going to add all the devices based on the credential and the reachability for that particular subnet range or the vCenter, and add them in. And this completely depends upon your network and the number of devices which the Op Manager is able to contact and get the details. So moving on to the fourth question: is there a limit on license for interface discovery, and which protocol or credential is used for interface discovery? There is no licensing for interface discovery at the moment. You can add them and monitor it, and Op Manager would be using SNMP v1, v2 or v3 to add and monitor interfaces inside the application. So moving on to the fifth question: is there a way to manage a device through DNS instead of IP address, as we have a dynamically changing environment? Yes, we do have an option. Let me show that in the application directly. For that, what you have to do is you have to go to settings. Under monitoring, you have this option which is called as monitoring settings, where you can switch between poll the device or add the device using a DNS name or an IP address. And you also have the flexibility to choose whether the display name has to be with a DNS name or if it's going to be the device name itself. So you also have this option where you can enable them and use the DNS name as your display name for the devices too. So moving on to the next question, can we add a device using SNMP trap? Yes, we do have, we can add devices using SNMP trap. And for this, you have to enable this particular option, which is called as discover devices via SNMP trap under the discovery settings. So once you do this, all you have to do is you have to go to the end device and ask the device to forward a trap to the op manager server in the port 161. So once op manager receives this brand new trap from a device which is not monitored, it's going to add the device and it will start the monitoring. So this is how you could add the devices based on traps. So moving on to the next question, does op manager captures the history on when the devices were added or deleted and etc. Yes, we do have a report and a place where you could see the discovery details. So here when you go to the inventory, you have a column at the last which is going to give you the details about when the discovery was when the device was discovered inside the op manager. As you can see, the discovered time is given here. And in case if you want to have more details on when this particular device was added or deleted inside the application, you could very well use the audit report which is there inside the application and search for the respective type. Let's say if I go to general, and I could use a filter option here based on devices, and all I have to do is enter the device type here. Once I do this, I'll be having the flexibility to choose and see when this particular device was added or deleted inside the application. Now, if you want to have and see the technical videos and the webinars of the op manager, you could visit our YouTube channel. And if you want to see and get the informations about the help document for the op manager, you can visit help.opmanager.com, and we'll be having our technical discussion in our forum post with our customers and resellers. And if you want to get in touch with our support team, you could always drop an email at opmanager-support@manageengine.com, or you could directly dial in using the numbers which is at the bottom of the slide. If you want to get certified as an Op Manager Pro, you can register in the link which is there on the site, and you could attend the training and complete the examination and be a certified Op Manager technician or a pro, and you can use that in your environment to have a better network monitoring tool and have expertise in the Op Manager as well. And thank you all for attending the webinar. And if you have any questions in the presentation and or the webinar, please do raise it. We have a panelist here who will be answering all your questions.